Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my 2025-2026 NFL running back seasonal review. This was actually requested a few times over the last couple weeks, and the same thing with receivers, which I'll try and do, so stay patient for that. Anyway, couple of plugs as always. Don't forget to use code WW10 to save yourself a discount on any of Waggle's awesome products like this. And also don't forget to use code WyattzWorld at sign up on Prize Picks to guarantee yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry. Reminder that there is a Drake May free square for the Super Bowl. All he needs is one passing yard for the entry to win. But always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, folks, so here we are at today's list, and as always, to run through the tiers starting at the top, we have got the top 5 column this time. Then below that, we've got the great backs. Below that, we've got the solid backs. Towards the bottom, we have the serviceable backs, and bottoming out the list, we have the wash / not interested / just ass backs. I feel like it's better to just combine all three of them than just have 3 categories with 2 people in it, you know what I mean? So anyway, starting off the list, we have Josh Jacobs, a guy who is rumored to be cut from Green Bay, actually. I still think he's great, not gonna lie. He was down on carries this year from where he usually is. He missed a couple games, dealt with a few minor injuries, still scored 13 touchdowns, almost ran for 1,000 yards. He's physical. He will play as long as his body physically allows him to. I think Josh Jacobs is a warrior. Now we've got Nick Chubb. Sadly, he goes in wash, not interested, and ass. It hurts, it really does, because just 5 years ago, this guy ran the league, literally. Moving on, we have CMC. I mean, he belongs in the top 5 after this year. How can you not? Not only did this guy have 311 rushing attempts, but he also had 102 receptions on the year. He was everything to them. One of the best dual threat running backs we will ever see when he's healthy. Now moving on, we have Kyren Williams. This is tough because he probably belongs in a lot of people's top 5s. However, he's just not in mine right now. He's on the cusp. It's a personal preference. So I'm going to put him in the brand new top 10 through 6 column. In back-to-back 1,200 yard rushing seasons, over 10 touchdowns. One of the hardest runners in the league. It really is just a preference. No disrespect to him. Now we have Jonathan Taylor. He is top 5 in my opinion. I have always been a massive fan of Jonathan Taylor. I think he is one of the most talented all-around running backs in football. The guy was like 60 yards short of 2,000 scrimmage yards. He had 20 total touchdowns. Guy ran the ball 323 times this year, didn't get injured. He was durable. 1,500 rushing yards, nearly 5 yards a carry. I think he's outstanding. Now we've got Omarion Hampton. He goes in solid. He has a really good game, and then he has a really bad game, and then really good, and then really bad, but then you got to realize his offensive line is quite literally probably the worst in the league. I think the guy's got great hands. He's a nice dual threat to have on your team. He definitely deserves a chance. Now we have Derrick Henry. He's still in my top 5. I mean, until he falls off, I'm not going to not have him in my top 5. He's a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. Now we have Aaron Jones. He is going to get a serviceable. Nearly is in the bottom category now, but, you know, he still does have some asset to him. Aaron Jones can still break free on a nice run. He can still have a good game. He can still make some catches. I mean, granted, he did miss 5 games this year, but in the games he did play, half the time he ran, it looked like he might have struggled to run his way out of a paper bag. Now we have Austin Eckler. He's going to go in the bottom. Wash, not interested, ass. Coming off of a bad injury, we don't know if he's going to come back, and the guy has just been on a descent for like the last 3 years, and that's physically because he's even said he doesn't want to play that much anymore. Now moving on, we have Bucky Irving. Solid, and he's fighting for it. I mean, yes, he missed some time this year, but when he did play, he was just kind of ass. He wasn't productive at all, not with his legs, not with finding the end zone. He just really didn't add anything to the team this year when he played, opposed to last season when he was kind of the it factor of that offense. Now we've got Jahmyr Gibbs, top 5. I mean, he looks like he is straight out of a video game when he runs. It's insane. It's fun to watch him. It's electric. One of the most productive runners in football, one of the most trustworthy dual threat running backs in football. 77 catches on the year for him, as well as 1,200 rushing yards. He literally is Sonic the Hedgehog. Now we got Joe Mixon. Wash, not interested, ass. I honestly don't even know where he is right now. His name hasn't been mentioned on NFL television in over a year. Now we have James Conner, a guy who was hurt really early in the season and had a very rough start to the season. It was a right foot ankle injury too. Not sure the severity of it. I think he'll be able to play next season. I'm going to still say James Jones is solid though. He's a hard worker, a hard runner. He can catch the ball well, stays out of trouble. He's an asset to have on your team. He's an asset to have on the field. Now we have Chuba Hubbard, a guy that had a career year and then lost his job to Rico Dowdle. I'll still put him in solid. I think he's a decent running back. He really didn't get to play that much this year. Like, he literally went to a second string running back. Now we have Saquon. He's, in my opinion, still a top 10 running back, absolutely, but this year was way slower than last year, and that's, I mean, no surprise, no secret. You're not going to be able to replicate that, but I think he's still got some juice in him. I think when he gets on a roll, he's still one of the most explosive backs in the league. Definitely belongs in the conversation with the best. Now we have Kenneth Walker, a guy I probably owe a little bit of an apology to. I will say he's probably in the great back category. He did pretty damn good this year. Definition of a hard runner. He will shove your ass into the ground. I don't think the guy's afraid to take a hit. I think he's an underrated pass catcher. When he stays healthy, he is a good asset to have. Now we have Rachaad White. I feel like we have this conversation once a year or maybe even twice a year. He's solid. He's a very underrated dual threat to have. He's not the most explosive runner in the league, but he's a guy that'll get you a couple yards. He's a guy that will get open. He's a guy that can find the end zone. A guy that I believe your offense would be worse if you did not have him. Now we got James Cook. Oh, this sucks. Top 10 through 6? I'm sorry, just because you have the most rushing yards in the league doesn't mean you're the best running back. Am I allowed to say that as a Bills fan? I think that's fair. James Cook is a phenomenal running back. A top 10 running back is nothing but an accolade to your name. Crazy fast, crazy shifty. He's explosive as a stick of dynamite. But I do not think he's the most powerful running back, and I also think that his ball security could be a lot better. Now we have Ramondre Stevenson. I'm solid. He's a very consistent player on a year-by-year basis when it comes to analytics, but if you watch him on a week-by-week basis, this guy is either a game savior or he is your worst fucking nightmare to have on your roster. Now moving on, we have Ashton Genty. He is gonna go in great. I know he didn't have the best analytical year, but I do not believe he has an O-line that could literally stop a high school fucking defensive line. And I also think he showed some great glimpses in great flashes at the talent he possesses. This guy had the second most broken tackles in the NFL for a running back this year. He also had 55 receptions on top of his 900 rushing yards. Bijan Robinson, top 5. My personal opinion, probably the best running back in football. It alternates every other day, honestly. I mean, dude, this guy moves so fast and fluent, he leaves a vapor trail out of his ass. He looks like he has an X factor at all times that is glowing red. We're looking at a guy who almost just threw up 2,300 all-purpose yards on the year. I think he was 2 yards short to be exact. He's top 5 and he's not 5'4" or 3. Now we have Breece Hall, great back. He deserves the world after this season, honestly. Horrible team, horrible head coach, horrible quarterback play, yet this guy was basically entirely the offense. I mean, throwing up 1,400 scrimmage yards on a team that might be the worst team we have ever seen. Not sure what comes next for you, but you deserve it as long as it's good. Now moving on, we have Alvin Kamara, serviceable. Falls in pretty much the same category as Aaron Jones. He's getting hurt every year. He's missing games every year. He's looking slower. Still good to catch a pass, still good for a run every now and again, but I think his days as a full-time starter are winding down and wrapping up, as they probably should be. Now we have Tyrone Tracy, solid. He's not bad, and his ball security got better. He only had 1 fumble this year. Now we've got Tony Pollard, solid. No, there's 2 crazy things about Tony Pollard. 1, he ran for 1,000 yards this year, just over it, but 2, 500 of those yards came in the last 5 weeks of the season. I'll give it to him. The man is consistent. The man never gives up, but without that last, stretch of games, he might have dropped down to the not interested column. I mean, I had him in fantasy. I kept tabs on him. First 13 weeks of the season, I mean, you might as well have just had me out there. Now we have Isaiah Pacheco, serviceable. He just doesn't look like the same guy. He doesn't look like the same person that used to punish the ground with every step he took. When he does play, his production, his actual just basic numbers, they're down from where they used to be. I don't know if it's an injury. I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't think he's the same player. Now we have Devon Achane, a guy that I wanted to have in my top 5, a guy who is in the top 10 through 6, and a guy who is not 10, 9, or 8. This guy's a demon. He's one of the funnest players in the league to watch. He had almost 2,000 all-purpose yards this year. Probably is the most productive runner in football. You can't get the guy down. You can't get a hand on him. Lightning fucking quick. I mean, literally is one of my favorite players in football right now. Now we have Travis Etienne, solid, I guess. I might sound like a hater. I still just don't think he's very good. I think he's extremely hit or miss, and I think this season is carried off of a couple very big performances. I don't think he's consistent. That's what I'm saying. Now we got Jaylen Warren. He's solid. He's not bad. Actually, he has tremendous hands. Hauled in 40 out of 45 catches this year. That'll bring us to Chase Brown. He goes in great. Horribly slow start for him, but man, did he ramp it up and finish with, I would classify, a pretty great season. 1,000 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 400 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. Once week 8 hit, something ticked in his head. Okay, moving on, we have Javonte Williams. He's gonna go in great backs, because how can you not after the season he just had? A guy that was expected to go there and do nothing, and a guy that was responsible for probably majority of their points. It's kind of a crazy story, to be real. Now we have Bill, or Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, serviceable borderline ass. I think he might be the most overrated running back in the league right now, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound mean. He was literally carried this year on like 2 big games. 9 games this season, this man averaged under 3.5 yards a carry. He doesn't catch the ball, has a ball security problem on top of that. Like, I think the guy kind of sucks. Now we have Travion Henderson, great running back, obviously. Tremendous runner, tremendous rookie season, and what's sick is this guy didn't actually start playing until what felt like 2 months in. Quinshon Judkins. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way about him, but I feel like, you know, right when he started, he exploded. You know, he had that really good game. Then he just kind of stunk, and I never really heard about him again. And anytime you did watch him, it wasn't very impressive. I understand his team was not in a great position, but I don't think he was all that impressive either. I'm gonna give him serviceable. Najee Harris. I didn't mean to really put him on here. Not interested. J.K. Dobbins. He's a solid running back when he plays, man. I've always been a fan of him. He's always been injury prone, though. Kareem Hunt. Not interested. Washed up as hell, too, man. This guy's just been a battering ram for like the last 4 seasons. Now we have Jordan Mason, who is kind of like a junior, shittier version of Derrick Henry. I'm gonna put him in solid because I think he is. He has some ball security problems. The guy doesn't catch, that kind of bothers me, but he's a big running back. He's a physical running back. He's a hard runner. And I think when he gets moving at full speed, he's one of the hardest guys to get down, considering he weighs 230 fucking pounds. Now we have Caleb Johnson. Ass. Terrible. Probably the worst running back in the league this year when he played. David Montgomery. He's a great back. He's a bell cow. He's not the flashiest guy. He doesn't have the craziest moveset, but this man will punch through a line. He will truck people over, and he will get your asses right into the end zone. He's too good to be a number 2. Couple left here. We got Cam Scatbo. I'm gonna say solid. Like I've said before with this guy, not the most talented runner in the league or player in the league by any means, but he plays smart and he plays so hard. He's also a guy that's capable of doing basically anything you ask. And ending here, we have Woody Marks. I'm gonna put him in serviceable. I wasn't impressed with him. I get his O-line isn't the greatest thing, but the guy also takes some of the dumbest lanes you can imagine. He gets hurt every single game at one point, and when he stays healthy, majority of the time, I feel like I'm just watching a vanilla ice cream cone. Can always change, but like I said, I just wasn't impressed. And that is also gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen, for me reviewing every single NFL starting running back season. Well, actually, besides DeAndre Swift, I just realized he's not on here. He goes in solid, as he always does. But as always, if you guys appreciated this video and enjoyed it and you want to show support, please do it, because you know that I appreciate that. Also, don't be afraid to let me know what our biggest differences were in the comment section. Regardless, as always, you guys know the drill. I'm gonna hop off and get this edited so you guys can all watch it on time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday, and as always, I will see you in the next video.